Hi, I'm Marcelo from Jamplay, and I'm going to teach you how to play the basic Rumba Flamenco Strum. Please keep in mind that there are many different ways of playing this rhythm, and if you look at guitar players from different parts of the world, you will find different variations. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach you 7 moves and then move number 8, so a total of 8 moves for your right hand. Let's begin with move number 1. Move number 1 is going to be with the thumb, and what we're going to do is we're going to mute the strings of the guitar, and then we're going to do move number 1, striking all the strings with the thumb, going down on the strings like that. That will be move number 1. At the end of move number 1, your right hand will be under the strings, getting ready for move number 2. Move number 2 is going to be up with the thumb. So that will be move number 2. Moves 1 and 2 together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. For move number 3, we're going to use our fingers. If you're looking at the PDF, you will see it says hand, meaning the rest of your right hand. Some people might want to use 2 fingers, some people might feel more comfortable using 3 fingers. Sometimes if it's a heavier song, you might use 3 fingers. If it's a lighter sound that you're looking for, you might use only 1. But the point is that move number 3 is going to be an accent. So for move number 3, you want to have a little bit of an accent going down. Moves 1, 2, and 3 together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. At the end of move number 3, once again, your hand is underneath the strings, getting ready for move number 4, which is the same as move number 2, up with the thumb. So we have, let's review 4 moves. 1, down with the thumb. 2, up with the thumb. 3, down with the fingers. 4, up with the thumb. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next move, number 5, is going to be with the palm of your hand hitting the top of the guitar, imitating the sound of a percussion instrument such as the bongos. Perhaps that started one day that the bongo player fell asleep and didn't make the gig, and the guitar player had to make up for it. So that's move number 5. Simply put your right hand on the strings. There's 2 ways to do move number 5. You can very softly use it to stop the strings from ringing, or you can actually do it more percussively. And it's a matter of preference. You can do it either way or both ways depending on the song. So let's review the first 5 moves. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, moves 6 and 7 are really easy. But the problem is putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 together. So I suggest that you practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a lot until your right hand feels very comfortable with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's review one last time. Down with the thumb is 1, up with the thumb 2, down with the hand is 3, up with the thumb is move number 4, and 5 is with the palm. Moves 6 and 7, you're already on the strings with the palm. That was move number 5. And now move number 6, you're simply going to lift your hand and touch the strings on your way up. 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7 is just down with the hand again, down with your fingers. 5, 6, 7. So the first way that you should be practicing these moves, I would suggest, should be just practice 1, 1, 1, 1. When you feel comfortable with 1, you go, okay, I feel comfortable with that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you practice 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. After you've done that, you can try to put them together. And that's where the fun begins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, I told you at the beginning that I was going to show you also move number 8. Move number 8 is optional. Some players use it, some players don't use it, and some players use it very casually on some songs where you can barely hear move number 8. At the end of move number 7, you are once again underneath the strings. Your thumb is underneath the strings, getting ready to strike on the way up, but sometimes barely touching the strings on the way up. So I would practice this rhythm first with the 7 moves and then try to add move number 8. But if you're practicing the 7 moves and on the way up, your hand, when you move your hand up, your thumb touches the strings on the way up, that would be move number 8. You can use it or not use it. That's up to you. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now here's a practicing tip. I find that a lot of people, when they try to learn this rhythm, as soon as they try for the first time moves number 6 and 7, they make a mistake. So I like to make it like a game, and the game goes like this. Every time you make a mistake after 6 and 7, you give yourself 4 more times of doing only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I'm going to pretend I make a mistake on 6 and 7, and I'm going to show you what I would do when I'm practicing if that happens. Practicing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to try 6, 7. I made a mistake. Again. I made a mistake, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 times. The best way to get 6 and 7 right is that when you are on move number 5, you can learn to relax your shoulder. Your right shoulder will have a tendency to get tense and start getting tense and moving forward like that. And that will not be helpful to this rhythm. You want to try to relax your right shoulder. That way you can make all the moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or with number 8. In the next scene, we're going to be applying this rhythm to a chord. Now that you feel comfortable with the moves of the right hand for the basic Rumba Flamenco strum, we're going to try to apply it to a chord. We're going to do it with an A minor chord in the 5th position. That's a bar in the 5th position, A minor. But if you find that practicing this rhythm over one chord makes you tired from holding the bar chord too long, then you can switch to an open position, A minor. When you get more advanced, you will see why it's better sometimes to use bar chords. It's because your left hand will help you with some of the muting of the strings that you don't want to hear ringing. But at the beginning, it's okay to do it either way. So here we go. Move number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm going to do it with the move number 8 that I also showed you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I suggest that you practice this rhythm over one chord until you feel very comfortable. It doesn't have to be A minor. You can do it on any chord that you want to do it. Now, when you feel very comfortable with playing one chord and playing the 7 or 8 moves, whichever one you choose, then there's a little more advanced variation that I would like to show you from the beginning so that you will understand why when you listen to some of the professional players play this rhythm, it sounds a little different than the way I showed you. The way I showed you has a lot of emphasis on the first move. But when a player is actually playing a song, it doesn't put emphasis on the first beat of every bar during the song. Check this out. If I'm playing A minor, instead of going 1, 1, what a player will usually do is make the accent on 1 only prominent in some of the bars and not others. So sometimes what you want to do is you want to skip that 1, but you want to still do the right hand motion so that your hand will be in the right position. So in slow motion, what I'm saying is that instead of playing 1, you play 1, skip. See how I'm skipping? Skip. I'm skipping, but I'm still making the motion so that I can do move number 2 from the bottom of the strings. Of course, bottom and the guitar, this is the bottom and this is the top. So I'm talking visual bottom, not pitch bottom right now. In the next scene, we are going to apply this rhythm to what's probably the most popular and famous Spanish guitar chord progression of all times, the Andalusian Cadence. The Andalusian Cadence is the chord progression that you've heard probably many times if you've heard any Spanish guitar music, not only flamenco, but also other kinds of Spanish music and Latin music in general. And that progression is A minor to G major to F major to E. A minor to G major to F major to E. Now, something that I find interesting that has to do with theory is that in the Western world, in Western music, we would consider that this chord progression is in the key of A minor, with A minor being the 1 chord and the last chord, E, being the 5 chord or the dominant in that tonality. I think that a lot of young guitar players have a lot of confusions when it comes to modes because they learn the modes as shapes and sometimes don't really understand when do you really need to use a mode and understand what a mode really is. Well, this is an excellent example of what a mode is because this is a Phrygian dominant progression. And in this progression and in the minds of all flamenco guitar players and flamenco aficionados, this is the 1 chord. That's why sometimes when you're listening to some flamenco music, maybe it's playing this kind of progression and then all of a sudden the song ends on that chord, and to our ears sometimes it sounds a little odd. But that's the way it is. If it was regular Western music, or like it happens in a lot of pop songs that use this, you might see that at the end it goes. But in flamenco music, that will never be the 1 chord. Never. This is the 1 chord. So this progression in the Phrygian dominant mode, which is a mode of the harmonic minor scale, will be 4, 3, 2, and 1. And it's a really interesting progression for those of you that later will try to improvise lead lines over this progression, because in this chord progression, we have the presence of the note G natural, and then we have the presence of the notes G sharp in the same progression. We will go over that more in the future in a different lesson that will deal with how to play over these chord progressions. So now that you understand the Andalusian cadence, and by the way, cadence means chord progression and Andalusian means from Andalusia. Andalusia, it's a region of southern Spain. Many people claim that that's where flamenco comes from, and a lot of old flamenco songs have this chord progression. Kind of like in blues, you have the 1-4-5 that is common to so many songs, and many old flamenco songs you will find and hear this chord progression. So let's try to apply the rhythm, the Rumba Flamenco basic strum, to the Andalusian cadence. Remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I always like to start with a muted guitar before I play a progression. Let's do it a little slower. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play it without putting so much emphasis on the one, although I suggest that you practice putting all the emphasis on the one until you feel really comfortable with the rhythm. Let's try that a little faster. Now 8 moves